Okay guys, let's make a Marvel movie, because everyone knows and loves modern Marvel, with characters that no one knows about, filled with girl power, and get it written by the guys that made us Morbius. How can this go wrong? It's an all-girl superhero squad.
Not relying on superpowers or other men, and there's no love interest. It's pretty fabulous.
Oh boy, let's get into it. You want to know why this movie is gonna bomb? Does anyone remember the cringiest part of the Avengers Endgame? It was at the end during the final fight. The heroes needed to get the Infinity Gauntlet to the time machine behind Thanos' troops. When, in the middle of the chaos, people were fighting everywhere, and out of nowhere, all the girls found each other. Maybe they were synced. They grabbed the gauntlet, fought their way to the time machine, and showed those pesky boys how to get it done. And then didn't get it done. Oh, and look, it's Captain Marvel. Look at that man face. It was the lamest, most forced part of the entire film. Just like this new entry into Sony's Spider-Man universe. Madam Web is the forced diversity entry that no one asked for in a universe filled with so many better characters. And I'll tell you why. But one thing's for sure, I'm not buying 4 tickets to take me and my superhero-loving teenage boys to see this cringe fest. Forced diversity is only the first reason why we're gonna skip this dead-on-arrival fan fiction. And it's a death so predictable that it makes you wonder how people forgot Einstein's second most popular quote. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. What's insane here? This is the plan of many movie studios. Step 1, get a male franchise that's successful and has a solid fan base. Step 2, kick out the fanboys. Make the male characters incompetent, weak, and pathetic. Step 3, inject this said franchise with girl bosses that have no depth, no hero's journey, and certainly no flaws. Step 4, fail miserably at the box office and lose a ton of money. Step 5, and then blame the boys that you kicked out. Rinse and repeat. Don't believe me? Well, let's look at Star Wars with Rey replacing Luke. How about the many in the Marvel Universe, like Captain America being replaced by Captain Carter, Thor with Jane Foster, Ant-Man with his daughter Cassie, Hawkeye with Kate Bishop, the Hulk with She-Hulk, Loki with Sylvie, Black Panther with Shuri, Iron Man with the upcoming Ironheart, even Pixar's Buzz Lightyear with Izzy Hawthorne. How about the Terminator with the movie Dark Fate? How about the Ghostbusters? Wasn't that a gem? Maybe the He-Man show on Netflix. Hey Tila, thanks for getting rid of that pesky guy there. Screw the original films, we know better. Remember, fan service isn't giving fans what they necessarily want in a franchise, it's showing fans you care about the franchise just as much as they do. We've all done it. We've all sat with our friends and imagined scenarios of our favorite heroes. We've all been sitting around going, wouldn't it be cool if? We're not looking for something to please everyone. We're looking for something that made us fall in love with these movies in the first place. It's about knowing your audience. As the saying goes, when you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one. This is such an important factor in why this Madam Web movie is gonna bomb. Who watches superhero movies? Who are the people that crave this kind of stuff? Boys. Them and men like me that grew up with this stuff and want to share with our kids. And the people that made this Madam Web think that boys are going to be interested in this movie? That there's going to be a massive group of girls lining up to see this like they did the Barbie movie? No, I don't think so. Can girls like superhero movies? Sure. Can girls like fighting movies? Why not? Can girls like action? Obviously, but this isn't their go-to form of entertainment. You may be one of those girls, but here's a stinky little truth that people don't want to talk about. If a girl is going to see this film, 9 out of 10 are going to go with a guy. There are a few girls that will go alone to a superhero movie because they like it, but the majority go because their boyfriends go, mutual guy friends, their husbands, their brothers, their sons go. And girls like hanging out with boys. Even the majority of tomboys have brothers. Then they get into things that their brothers like because they love their brothers. Show me a tomboy and I'll show you a girl that more than likely has at least one older brother, and there's nothing wrong with that. That, or you have a girl that got into boy stuff to connect with her dad. And for that, well done, dads. But those girls didn't fall in love with this stuff because they were pandered to. Madam Web panders to the wrong people. It was done with the wrong audience in mind, made for people that want diversity, but don't actually want to watch it. Like how many women advocated for women's soccer and the WNBA, for instance? How many of them did you hear screaming for equality and more money? And how many of those same women actually go see these sports or buy their merchandise? None. No one is really supporting these things. Unlike you guys that support a content creator like me with a like and a sub. Secondly, guys would go see this film if it was well written, respecting the source material. But having the writers of Morbius back to script this is truly a wonder. This must be a Hollywood thing, but I've never seen an industry so apt at having people fail upwards. Well, maybe in politics, but it's almost like a dare to see how bad you can make something and see if people will hire you to make more. This is the same crew that not only wrote Morbius, but also the 2017 Power Rangers, Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter, and the Gerald Butler fantasy Gods of Egypt. Sadly, I've seen more of these with my boys than I care to admit. Poor writing for sure, but also not respecting the source material as usual.
I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any research.
I wasn't familiar with comics. I wasn't familiar with the movies.
We didn't lean into a whole lot of the history of the comic books.
Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie press stuff.
First thing I was told is don't read the comics.
Really?
As a creator, they put you in a bubble. They don't let you talk about any of the other projects, right?
You know, they're up for anything.
We ultimately decided to redefine it for the series and thought that it worked better for the story that we're trying to tell.
Did you ever read you've never read the comic?
When the DVD comes out, I'm going to read a Thor comic book and just see where we went wrong.
Well, guess the truth is, if you didn't read the comics, we don't have to see your film. Seems fair. Check this out. Here's some pics of the original Madam Web. And here's the truth as to why we've not seen much of her in the last 40 years. She's a mid-level side character at best. She's only as good as she is because she's played off of Spider-Man. It's like ordering a burger meal. You get the nice juicy burger, Spider-Man. A good heaping of fries, the bad guys. And some ketchup on the side, Madam Web. And with this film, instead of getting a full plate and a full meal, you're just getting a big side of ketchup. Yeah. Some characters only work well when they're played against others. Madam Web is this. No one wants to see a side character. No one wants a plate of ketchup. But boys aren't interested in this crap. And even the critics don't like this thing. And the sad thing is, not even the people making this are gonna spend money to go see this crap. They'll walk the red carpets for sure, watch it for free, and then never watch it again. Woke Hollywood doesn't seem to care about this stuff bombing either. Guess when you got money to burn or other people's money to burn, all you care about is getting your message out there.